Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly Gudiel and I'm a third-year student attending the University of California, San Diego. I am majoring in political science and I'm minoring in theater. So a little bit story about myself is I am a first-generation, first-in-their-family, low-income Latina woman, and that is part of the reason as to why I created this website. I wanted to target first-generation, first-in-their-family, low-income students from my community, and specifically from my high school, so RFK and my academy, SVA. I hope that you get your questions answered out of this website, and yeah. Okay, so I was lucky enough to participate in a lot of UCSD's programs before becoming a student here officially. So I SIR'd fairly quickly once I got my acceptance letter, and because of this, I was receiving a lot of emails from UCSD, and I was given the opportunity to apply to the overnight program, which is you stay out here for an entire weekend, and then you get to tour the campus, and then like at the end of it, you attend Trident Day. So my family came for that, and we got to tour the campus, meet a couple of other students, and have them describe their experiences to us. And also through this, I was receiving emails from Oasis, another resource on UCSD's campus. And so because of this, I was given the opportunity to apply to Summer Bridge, and I got it, luckily. So what Summer Bridge is a 4-week program, now 5 weeks, and it's divided into 2 parts. So it's the math program and then the regular program that everybody else goes into. So what it is basically giving you the real life college experiences that students go through. So we were taking, college level final exams, and we were taking college level classes, obviously. So we got the units and like the credits for the courses, but it was pass, no pass. So we weren't getting letter grades. So I wasn't really doing anything for our GPA before coming, but it did give us those units. Summer Bridge consisted of a lot of activities, suite meetings, and then basically like a big old sleepover for an entire month. But it was a lot of fun. I do feel like the schedule was unrealistic because we started from like 8 a.m. and then we didn't finish until 10 p.m. Plus that wasn't accumulating for the time to study. It was after 10 p.m. That was when all of the day's activities were done, all classes were done, and then you started studying. But honestly, I feel like because of Summer Bridge, being a first-in-their-family college student, it wasn't too difficult for me to navigate my first year because I was given these resources throughout the entire year as well. So it wasn't just like during the summer and then it stopped. But during the year, we would meet with our academic transition counselors, or ATCs, and every other week we'd meet and we'd talk about our progress and how's school going and like what are we doing with our lives, and just getting a regular checkup. So if I ever had any questions, I would go to my ATC and she'd answer them for me. So if you have any type of resources like this on the college that you are planning to attend, I really hope that you take advantage of them because in the end, they're really gonna help you. Okay, so pronouns. I feel like coming into college, this is really important just because it's used so very often. So in Summer Bridge, we learned what pronouns were, and usually we'd get into groups and stuff, and then before meeting people, we would ask, so what are your pronouns? Basically, pronouns, at least for example for me, are she, her, and hers. So if you were not to use my name in a sentence, you would use the words she, her, or hers. So if I left my water bottle somewhere and somebody knows it's mine, but they're not gonna say, oh, it's Kimberly's, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's hers, if that makes sense. But basically that's what pronouns are, and the reason why there's such an emphasis on it is because you don't want to assume, everyone's free-spirited and can live their life, so they would like to identify themselves in a way that makes them feel comfortable, so never assume somebody's pronouns. Also, in the range of pronouns and stuff, remember to use generalized terms. So coming out of high school, I had a really, really bad habit of calling everybody dude or guys. So there'd be a group of girls and guys alike, but I'd be like, oh, hey guys, or I'd be talking to my girlfriends, even though we're close, like it'd be fine, but it's like I was constantly saying dude or guys. They're not guys, so why would you say that? you know, and I feel like in college it's definitely more emphasized to use more generalized terms. So for example, y'all or folks. So, you know, if I go talk to a group of friends, or like I'm in a professional setting or something, I will always make sure to say, oh, hey y'all, or do y'all think you can do this? And definitely sub those words out for like guys and dude, because it's more professional, and then you're also not offending anybody. So that's really important to keep in mind. So another good like piece of advice is getting out of your comfort zone. So if you're one of those kids that's going to a college that is within your city or like your hometown, the chances of you going to college with your friends are very likely. But here's the thing, get out of your comfort zone. Don't stay in the same group of friends for the rest of your college career, because you're never gonna be able to get out of that or make connections and stuff. And I think that's really important, to go make friends. And the only reason why this makes so much sense, and there's such an emphasis that I want to put on, is because let's say you and your friends don't have the same major class, like the same major. So you're obviously not going to be in the same major classes. Those friends are going to be in your GE classes, because everybody has to take these GEs depending on what college you go to. It's specific to the school, and so everyone's going to go through these classes. It just depends when they feel like taking them. But once you go into your major classes, and one of your friend's major is STEM and yours is like liberal arts or something like that, then you're obviously not gonna ever see them in classes again other than your required courses. So if you're gonna be sticking with them, go ahead, like live your life, but definitely the biggest advice I'd give is to make friends within your major classes, just because they're your study resource. You know, you have to have study buddies. Like, it's really difficult being in college, and so it's like you don't want to study by yourself, especially if, yeah, you love your major, but it's taking you a little while longer to figure it out. It's definitely better to stay in like that same group of like people that understand your major and know what you're going through, because you can always get that extra help. So all in all, just get out of your comfort zone and go out and make friends, because connections, and I think that's a really big thing. All right, so the last piece of advice that I have for you all is don't be afraid to ask for help. So connecting it to the earlier part of my video where I was saying how Summer Bridge really helped me, and how when I did have questions, I would go to my ETC and ask her. That's the thing. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. I understand it's really difficult, and I definitely think that is one of the reasons why I also wanted to create this website, because I knew as a high schooler, I wasn't specifically fond of asking others for help. If I didn't need it, I obviously wouldn't want it, and if I did, it'd definitely take me a really, really long time to work up the nerve and be like, oh, okay, I mean, I guess I should ask somebody for help, like I know I need it. But I definitely think you really need to ask for help, especially if it's in a class, because really classes are so difficult. Don't think that you're gonna be able to breeze through them unless you know they're a GPA booster or like an easy A. We could talk about that later on. But anyway, so what I'm saying is the fact that, just again with the whole connections, it'll be really nice if, not if you're confused, but it's like, even if you don't need the help, I say take advantage of going to the TA's office hours or the professor's office hours, because you're gonna get to know them, and in the long run, if you're deciding to go to law school, grad school, or like med school, you're gonna need letters of recommendation. Just like you needed letters of recommendation to get into college, that's the same thing, just with grad school. And it's so much more difficult to be connected with professors and TAs because everyone is so busy. But here's the thing, they have office hours, and that's already allocated time for their students. So I say take advantage of it and try to visit your TAs or professors, because it doesn't matter whether it's a TA or a professor, as long as you can get a letter of rec from someone who knew you in college, how you improved within the quarter, and just like your show of character to them, and they see that you're taking initiative to want to participate in class, then you're obviously going to be connected with them, and they're going to want to write you a letter of recommendation. You're not just going to show up at like the last office hours that they're giving you, and then you ask them, oh, hey, can I get a letter of rec? Because chances are they're not going to give that to you. Like, they don't know who you are. You don't participate in class, and you don't go to office hours. So you should really take advantage of office hours, because, for example, UCSD offers this like one specific program that lets you go dine with the professor, and you can even do that with your TAs. And so it's like they'll pay for your meal or like the coffee or whatever you want to give, and you can have a one-on-one based conversation. Here's the thing, office hours aren't just to help you in that class, but it's also to get to know your TA and professor. And it's like if you start off confused in the class, but then later on you just go because you want to be connected to this person, and I mean like in the back of your head you're thinking of a letter of recommendation. We all know it happens. I just say take advantage of it because it's one added resource in your college career. So anyway, just one last thing. I want to thank all of my friends who participated in helping me with this website. Everybody has different college experiences, and I definitely didn't want to like sit up in front of a camera to talk only about mine because everybody's experience is different. I also know that your high school teachers, if you're the type of person that doesn't want to ask questions or want to ask for help, and you just don't want to take that initiative, I hope that this is better because you're hiding behind a screen and nobody knows who you're asking questions. But plus also teachers have gone to specific schools so they can only speak on specific schools. That's why I really tried to get people from private, public university, UC, Cal State, and I really hope that their experiences have shed a little bit of light on college itself in general and not just specific colleges, because I know a lot of us can't afford school, and it makes sense. We're low income, we're all poor here, and that's fine. But also the biggest thing I really want to mention is the fact that don't waste time worrying about the money, because you're going to college because you want to get a higher education, not just because you're going to go waste this money. Sometimes college isn't for people, and if it takes for you to go and figure that out, then that's okay. But here's the thing, just if you're gonna do it and don't worry about the money, because there are things such as loans, grants, and scholarships that you can always apply to. And in the end, we're all always gonna be in debt. So please, please, please don't let that stop you from wanting to pursue a higher education. If that means just for you, or if that means you're only doing it for your family, just do it, I guess, because in the end it's going to be really beneficial, especially with the way the world works now. Higher education is highly recommended, and I just really hope that you take that into consideration before completely throwing out like the college idea. But thank you one last time. There's a chat box, and I have also left my email on the contact page, and there's a little bit about me if you wanted to know more. And I really hope that this helps you, and don't be afraid to contact me. Okay, bye.